Chapter 4. Promptly at 3 p.m., Estelle crammed her tablet into her book bag and dashed across campus to the parking lot for the engineering building. Toby stood beside the motorcycle, and the speckled pigeon perched on a nearby telephone pole. "Hi, Star." He pulled on his black helmet with the yellow cat and handed her a smaller one in blue. After they straddled the motorcycle, the pigeon dropped onto Estelle's shoulder and clung to the strap of her bag. "Okay," Estelle chuckled, "you can ride with us." She cupped her hand around the bird and held Rocket snugly against her stomach. "Lazy bird," Toby teased. "I'm just a featherweight with short wings," Rocket grumbled. They took the connector and drove south of Atlanta on the interstate highway into the farms and woods of the rural region. After 20 minutes, Toby took the exit, traveled through a small town and steered into a side street. Past the houses, the road ran through a dense forest of mixed pines, red oaks and hickories. Approaching their destination, the motorcycle slowed. "There." Toby pointed at the left-hand side. A 15-foot-high fence topped in barbed wire surrounded a long 2-story building with an attached 3-car garage. A big sign by the front gates read, "Happy Homes Educational Center." Window blinds blocked the view of the interior. Toby drove by the gated entrance and continued alongside the fence. Past the end of the enclosure, the road curved into the forest. Once the trees hid the building, he switched off the engine and coasted to a halt. Turning to look at Estelle, he drawled, "Place looks more like a penitentiary than a kid's school." She nodded. "It's not somewhere I'd want my kids to stay. I'd like to peep inside." He glanced at the cloudless blue sky. "Not in this bright sun. Invisibility suits won't help if they can see our shadows." "How about tonight?" she suggested. Her feathers tickled as Rocket wriggled in her hand. "Got a job for your spy pigeon." When Toby heard the offer, he said, "Okay. But avoid the windows. You're a town pigeon, not a wood pigeon. Stay in the trees or over the roof." While they were discussing the scouting flight, a bell rang inside Happy Homes. Cheers and squeals of delight suggested the students had been released into the walled space at the rear of the building. Toby drawled, "Check out the kids, Rocket. Look for a small girl with dark hair." "He's as bad as the cocky cat," Rocket grumbled. "Orders and no thanks." "It sounds like they're having fun," Estelle said dubiously. Following instructions, the speckled pigeon flapped into the nearest tree, circled over the fence, and dropped onto the roof overlooking the inner courtyard. "Blistering horseflies," Rocket snorted. "There's nobody in the yard. No kids. Nada." "Zarks," Toby exclaimed. "It's a fake. Canned playground jollity to convince outsiders the kids are happy." Estelle said, "What are they hiding? Should we sneak inside the building?" Toby lowered his dark brows and nodded. "Night raid. Safer and gives us time to collect the jags. Needn't worry about the police. My proposal is perfectly legal." A pause indicated Tex's slow thought processes. "Okay. What's the idea?" "I propose you apply for a contract to operate a detention center for migrant minors. Happy Homes Educational Center has plenty of space to accommodate additional children. There's no cost to you. Your government will fund the renovations, pay for food and other necessities." His voice warm with admiration, Tex said, "Lady, you're a genius." Toby squeezed Estelle's arm and breathed, "So that's her game." The voices blurred and faded. "They've gone into a building," Rocket reported. "Gone inside," Estelle echoed for Toby's benefit. He strode around the corner to check. Trotting after him, Estelle saw the pigeon perched on the sign above the entrance to a restaurant. Toby caught her hand and pulled her toward the restaurant. They strolled casually past the front windows, glancing sideways at the interior furnishings. We can't follow them, he grated. Place looks too snobby. He gestured across the street. How about we grab a sandwich in that deli? If we sit near the window, we can watch for Cynthia and Tex to come out. Sure. Estelle slipped her hand around his elbow. As they waited for the traffic lights to change, he said, Cynthia's met us. I'll call in Gecko and Fricker. They can shadow our targets without being recognized. She shrugged. Okay by me. Anyway, I can't stay long. I've got a class at 2. After they ordered their sandwiches, Toby thumbed his phone. Got it, he announced. What? Address for Happy Homes Educational Center. Reckon it's worth a visit. With me, Estelle pleaded. My class will be over at 3 o'clock. He warned, it's an hour's drive. Might be longer if we hit rush hour traffic. Tingling with anticipation, she nodded. Okay. Meet me at the usual spot. Don't forget your spy pigeon, Rocket cooed. Possibly hearing the suggestion relayed from Growler, Toby drawled, bring the bird.